didn't fail my dog. I just didn't know what I didn't know. Welcome to Straight Up Dog Talk, the podcast for real dog people who need more than filtered advice. I'm Em, dog trainer, canine nutritionist, enrichment specialist, and the human behind Fitz and Toby. Each week, we talk about what really matters because you and your dog deserve honesty, support, and connection. Whether you're here for help, healing, or just a dose of me too, you're in the right place. If you've ever Googled, why is my dog reactive? Or thought, why is this happening, even though I'm trying so hard? This is the episode for you. Today, I'm breaking down the 3 biggest things I wish I had known before I started reactivity training with Fitz, because it would have saved us so much stress, so much confusion, and a lot of heartache. By the end of this episode, you'll learn why walk-based training can actually stall your progress, the real reason your dog's behavior might get worse before it gets better, and why reactivity isn't just about what your dog sees, it's about what they feel. If you're feeling defeated or unsure what to try next, you're not broken. You're just early in the journey. Let's talk about it. Let me say this first. I did everything people told me to do. Structured walks, long leash decompression, counter conditioning. I had the gear. I had the schedule. I had the plan. And Fitz still struggled. That's when I realized this wasn't about doing it wrong. It was about starting with the wrong foundation. So here are the 3 things I wish someone had told me sooner. Number 1, walks are not always the answer. You hear it everywhere. A tired dog is a good dog. Just walk them more. Use the walk to teach focus and structure. And for a long time, we tried that. And I believed that it would work. Walks made everything worse. I'll never forget this one walk early on. It was quiet outside, barely any foot traffic, and I thought, okay, this will be good for him. Even before we made it to the corner, he was already scanning, pulling, reacting to every little sound and movement. I was stressed out the whole time, so frustrated with him. He wasn't learning, he wasn't decompressing, he was barely holding it together. I came home more stressed and honestly more pissed than when we left, and so did he. So eventually, I decided to stop forcing it. We stayed home. We spent more time in the yard playing fetch. We spent more time learning to decompress on the couch together. And we just spent more time being together than we actually did training. And that's when I started to see the progress. Walks are not the gold standard. They are an activity, not a requirement. And sometimes the kindest thing you can do is stay home. Number 2, progress doesn't always look like what you'd expect it to. This one caught me completely off guard. At the beginning of training, Fitz actually got worse. And quite frankly, I panicked because I thought it meant I had messed up everything. But here's the truth. That wasn't regression. It was release. He had been holding it in for so long, so afraid to show how he felt, that once I gave him the space to safely express himself, he did. Loudly, messily, but completely honestly. And to be frank, it hurt a little bit. I thought I had made things worse. But what I know now is reactivity is communication. And when your dog starts talking louder, it might mean that they're finally trusting you enough to speak up for themselves. There's a moment that I still think about sometimes. We were in the front yard, just doing some scatter feeding, having some snacks, hanging out on the long line, and someone walked by with their dog. Fitz barked. A lot. But then I was able to regain his attention and he looked at me. That was it. That was our turning point. He still saw the trigger and reacted, but he didn't spiral. He looked to me for direction. Not because I cued him, but because we had built trust. I had given him the space to make the decision. That moment would have never happened if I had shut him down earlier in the process. He needed to go through the messy middle to get there. And so did I. Number 3, regulation is greater than obedience. This was the biggest shift of all for us. Fitz didn't need to sit or lay down or stay when he saw a trigger. He didn't need to heal past a barking dog. He needed to feel safe. And until I prioritized his emotional regulation, his nervous system, over his behavior, nothing stuck. I used to think it was my job to prevent the reaction. But now I see my job as creating the conditions where a reaction doesn't feel necessary. It's not about controlling the moment, it's about supporting the whole dog. Now, everything we do starts with safety, safety in the environment, safety in our communication, safety in his body, because a regulated dog is capable of learning. An overstimulated dog is just surviving. And personally, I'd rather help my dog feel safe than look good for other people. If I could go back to day one, I wouldn't tell myself to try harder. I'd tell myself to slow down, to observe more, to drop the timeline, to stop chasing better behavior, and start building trust. Because the first time Fitz was able to pause and look at me instead of reacting automatically, that was the moment I knew we were on the right path. It didn't happen on a walk. It didn't happen after a cue. It happened in a moment of connection. And that is what this journey is all about. If this episode made you feel seen, share it with someone else who's doing their best with a big feeling dog. Leave a review on your favorite platform or tag me on Instagram at m_lovesdogs. I'd love to hear what resonated with you. And if you're looking for training support that meets you and your dog where you are, check out the free consult link in the episode description. You don't need to have all the answers. You just need to be willing to learn with your dog. And that is exactly what you're doing.